With me are two undecided voters, Anthony McKean from here in Glasgow and Chai Pandya, who was with us yesterday when we heard from Alistair Darling. I've got to ask you, you've seen them both now. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's still pretty tough. I thought that Alex handled some pretty tough situation pretty well, but from a personal point of view, I thought there were a few contradictions which I found quite hard to get over. Like the second question that came in from you guys was all about what independence sort of meant to him. And he was saying he sort of went down a corporate route of being in control of his own finances and energy policies and all of that. And then two questions later he was saying about how it's all about the people. And for me that's sort of two parallel universes, the corporate side of it and then the people. So it just seemed contradictory to be talking about both.
Yeah, Andy, I suppose it means what independence means for you, really, or what?
Independence, like, well, I don't think it's as simple as saying you can go down the corporate side or down the people's side. I think independence, it is one thing. So when he talks about going down the corporate side and going down the people's side, I can understand that because it is about the people. It is about the people in Scotland, but it's also about the businesses in Scotland. You need to look after both for the economy to survive.
So why have you come to this point where you're still undecided, as it were?
Well, the problem is so many ifs and buts. There's no certainties. It's really, really risky. Like, what might be best for us now might not be best for us in 20 years. So there'll be, I'd imagine if we went independent, there'll be a lot increased borrowing costs. So the economy might struggle a little bit, but then 20 years' time it may prosper. We don't know. So many ifs and buts.
And did you feel you get any of those answers tonight?
The problem is you can't get any answers. Neither side can give you certainties at all. So it's really, really tough to make a decision.
I mean, Alex, I'm very confident that if it comes to independence, things will go his way in a negotiation with the rest of the UK. Are you that confident?
I am, yeah. I mean, I've got more problems with the initial basis of it all, really. Like, I've got an issue with the whole campaign because I'm trying to understand why he's going for independence. So he's coming out of, he wants to leave the UK, but then he also wants to be part of Europe. So it's almost substituting one bureaucratic democracy for another. So I'm trying to understand what his definition of independence is because he still wants to be part of the EU. So there's a lot of contradictions that I'm trying to deal with.
I mean, Andrew, what are the uncertainties that worry you most?
So many. Like, obviously, what currency we're going to have, what will happen to the NHS, will the businesses eventually move? Obviously, they've all said they're going to, well, a few of like RBS and Lloyds have said they're going to move not the headquarters, the legal entity down to England. So I'd imagine eventually in the future there might be a possibility that jobs do move down to England. Obviously, right now they don't plan on shutting any jobs down in Scotland, but in the future, nobody knows what's going to happen.
I mean, whether you think it's a good idea or not, do you think that it's really credible, as we're being told, that, as it were, Scotland could move from being part of the UK to being independent without really any serious bumps?
Of course not. There's going to be a tough few years, of course. Definitely, I imagine the economy will shrink for at least 5 to 10 years, who knows? And then it may become good again. It's a risk.
Because for some people those bumps will be worth it, come what may.
Yeah, no, of course. Similar views to what we said the other day, really, when we were talking about after Alistair's interview as well. I mean, as long as unity comes about with the people after the decision, because there has seemed to be a lot of factions between the whole thing, so hopefully people get behind whatever decision.
OK, just a quick final question. Which way are you leaning now in terms of your vote?
It's still tough. I'm leaning more towards no, but I'd say I'm a libertarian at heart. I do believe in autonomy and things like that, so it's trying to weigh that up with the face that's associated with the campaign.
Anthony, how about you?
Yeah, I think it'll go down to the wire. I'll be on the polling booth website.
Well, that would be very exciting indeed, and of course it would make it much more exciting to determine what the result will be.